Hey there, Michelle. How's everything today?
Everything's good. Lindsay, question. How did you know your partner was the one for you?
Well, that's a good question, Michelle. I guess when you know, you know. There were just certain moments, that happened, especially early on, traveling together, where we saw situations in the same way, or we reacted.
Traveling is a good way to know.
What about you? How did you know your husband was the right one for
Yeah,
you?
Dan. I knew he. I don't know. I just always kept on having so much fun with him. He's a very fun person. So yeah, when you know, you know.
When you know, you know.
When you know, you know. What do you think about that expression, Lindsay?
It's a good one. It's a little bit of a cliche, but sometimes cliches are fun, There's nothing wrong with them because we use them, especially around sentimental things. Sentimental things
Yeah.
like finding your life partner.
Yes, it's definitely a big one. I
Yep.
mean, I hear this a lot in the movies and on TV shows, but also in real life. When you know, you know. It's also kind of fun to say.
It kind of makes me think of like 90s romance movies like Sleepless in Seattle a little bit.
Yeah.
That vibe of romantic and, like, is it meant to be this very optimistic
Fate and
90s romance film thing that was happening?
Yeah, I know
love
exactly what you mean.
Yes.
Yeah. So we're going to talk more about this, but first, Lindsay, do we want to say thank you to someone?
Of course, we want to say thank you to all our listeners, but especially those of you who have taken the time to go and leave us a rating and a review. And today's listener is Mingwei Ren. Thank you for the 5-star review. This listener reviewed us in, I believe, Apple Podcasts. Thank you so much for the review. Guys, go over and leave us a review. Tell us what you think of the show. Wherever you listen, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, let us know what you think of the show. All right?
Love it. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you, Mingwei. So, Lindsay, so what does that mean even to say when you know, you know? I mean, what do you know? What are we talking about? We're not even saying anything.
Yeah, I think what we're trying to say here is like when we know it's right, it's right. Like it's a gut feeling. It's like our intuition that something is a fit, something is a match, something feels right.
Yeah, but actually thinking about it, you could also use it about in something that feels wrong. I mean, when you know, you know. This is not, but it does. Yeah. But I think typically it has more of this optimistic, hopeful feeling. But
I agree. Yeah,
not always. So you could use it in other ways. But yeah, it is about that intuition. I think that is the key word, that gut feeling.
Yes.
So, but what do we use it about? What are we talking about?
All the good things in life. I mean, the big thing, the big things in life, like choosing a pet. Oh my God, I love this. I love this. When you chose your beagle, when you were a kid, you had a beagle, right, Michelle?
Yes.
Did you adopt him from the shelter, or like how did he end up at home? Did your parents bring him home?
How did he? Yeah. So what happened was of course, my mom didn't want the dog, and then of course it ended up being her dog. That's how it goes. Yeah. But my dad was looking everywhere, and we were looking for rescue dogs. And one day he told me that he thought he found one. I guess he had been in touch with this woman, and we were interested in beagles or dachshunds or different those types of breeds. And so he said that there was a dog, and so he told me, and we were so excited. But I will say, so the first time he came and the first time I saw him, I was like, oh my God, he's so cute. Yeah. But then we were playing with him in the front yard. Yeah. And he was crazy. Yeah. And I started getting nervous. I guess he had the zoomies,
Oh, zoomies, yeah. Small dogs.
Yeah. And I hadn't really experienced that before. And I was like, but of course he was our dog. I mean, what about for you with Kiefer? Was it when you know, you know?
It actually was not it was not a, you know. The original Kiefer, we found a dog in Boston when we couldn't adopt yet, named Kiefer. That's his namesake. That dog was Kiefer 1, and that's how we named our current dog Kiefer. But that dog, we knew we wanted him. But this dog, he was just a puppy. He was 8 weeks old. And we had, kind of pre-signed up for him, right? Like you sign up, indicate your interest, and then you go. And he was kind of the one that was, all the red flags were coming up. Like he wasn't coming over to us. He looked afraid. He was in the corner. He was a little antisocial.
Yeah.
But the woman just kind of was like, well, do you want him or not? We're like, I guess so. So we just took him, and then he grew on us, like, how they imprint on you on the ride home. And then they just you just spend time and you learn to love them. You love them over. It didn't take long. Trust me. He was the most adorable puppy.
Long. Now he's pretty outgoing.
He's a great dog. So, I mean, these are the moments when we use this intuition, because intuition matters for the big decisions in life, Michelle, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, I mean, for finding a partner, choosing a pet, your job, if you interview for something and it just feels right. Or also, I mean, a big one is finding a house.
Yes.
You just, and again, sometimes you don't always have this feeling, and that doesn't mean that it's necessarily not right. It's just true. Yeah. When there are, I'm sure everyone has those moments in life where you can remember, you just knew, you just had a feeling,
Yes, exactly. And that's kind of a cool magic in life where, thank goodness, we have some kind of intuition kind of guiding us at times, right? It would be so hard if everything were just logical. Right. We need a little heart, right, to come out and guide us. Yeah.
So, I mean, it's often used just when something is an important choice in your life, and you can decide based on your heart and not just with logic. So yeah, picking a pet is certainly one. Wait, so the other dog that you like, that dog was named Kiefer, so that's why you named Kiefer.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, got it.
It was way too early for us to adopt a dog. We couldn't have a dog in our apartment in Boston, so we had to move on. But we always thought about that Kiefer, and then we just
yeah.
So,
well, let's show how this would be used in conversations.
Okay.
Lindsay, you want to do the first one?
I looked for a house for 6 months, and finally I found one. It was perfect. Hey, when you know, you know. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Or here's a little role play.
Mm-hmm. How did you decide on your puppy?
Oh, when I saw him, it was a no-brainer. When you know, you know.
Oh, that's so nice. I love that. It makes me want to get another dog. Right?
I know. Oh my gosh. I definitely, I shouldn't right now, but I keep on looking at pictures and rescue sites, and really not a good time for me.
Michelle,
but what?
That's a lot. That's a lot.
Yeah, no, maybe in a year or two though. Not too long, not too far from now. Yeah. Or what made you decide to go to UCLA?
Well, I toured so many schools, but it was an easy choice. When you know, you know. That's kind of how I felt about my college too. That's another good one, choosing a college. I visited my college, which was in Virginia, so it was way further south than where I grew up. It was a beautiful April day, and the weather was incredible, impeccable. The campus was gorgeous. All these kind of superficial things drove me to believe it was the best choice. I don't know if it was the right choice in hindsight, but it was college. I love my college experience. It's okay. But I did have that feeling like, when you know, this is the place for me.
Yeah. Well, that's interesting because weather has such an impact.
Huge.
On when, if you're going to look at a house, if you're going to see if you like a town, it's so hard to keep it in mind because you go tour around an area on a rainy day, it's going to feel so much different than if you go somewhere else and it's sunny and gorgeous and people are outside walking around. It's just weather can definitely play tricks on you.
It's so true. The world just looks so different through the gray lens versus the bright sunny blue sky lens. It's just incredible. Any trip, when you travel, is the same thing, right? Anytime you're taking a trip somewhere, it's just, when we went to Norway last fall, it was so gray. It was so gray. And I think our experience would have been completely different if it was just blue skies all the time, I don't know.
Sure.
So. Hey, quick question. Do you want to feel more confident when you speak English? If so, we made a free guide for you. It'll help you avoid those common mistakes and start speaking more naturally in real conversations. Go grab it in the description below. And if this is helpful for you, make sure that you like and subscribe. We're here 5 times a week to help you connect in English.
All right. So, Michelle, can this ever be something negative we mentioned earlier? What do you think?
Yeah, again, we mentioned that it can be, but we both have this feeling of it's generally positive.
Yeah, I think so.
But if it is negative, it's just kind of this feeling that something's off, that gut feeling. So, for example, I went on a blind date last night, but he wasn't for me. When you know, you know.
Yeah. I mean, that makes sense. That's acceptable. Like no one would be like, you're using that wrong. Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or we canceled our flight. It's just too hard to fly with the kids right now. When you know, you know. So here it's like you have an intuition that things will just be too much. It's your gut feeling. It's just too much.
Yeah. Or the house looked great on the outside, but we could tell right away it was not in good shape on the inside. When you know, you know. And you're more like you're in these ways. I think you're more so just playing with the expression. You're using it in a way that, maybe it generally sounds more hopeful and optimistic, but you're just kind of changing it.
Yeah,
don't you think?
Yeah, for sure. So in terms of experiences that we've had, I feel like I've had this feeling when I knew that I needed to go abroad after college, personally. Like I knew that I had grown up in a small town in the US, like very small, and I'd been a little bit sheltered and I needed to see the world. I had to be in a big city. So I decided to go to Tokyo. Right. And I just knew when you know that you need to get out. You need to see the world. There's this real intuition inside me that said, I'm going to live abroad. I'm going to live in some place that couldn't be more different than the US, which is Japan. Right?
Yeah. I mean, would you say that you often have this intuition guiding you in your decisions, or is it more rare for you? Are you more, what do I do?
It's tough. I think as I get older, the analytical mind really wants to come in and override the gut feeling more. But I also feel like I also value the gut feeling more and more too as I get older, like with more experience of having made certain decisions and they went sideways or they were good. Now it's a balance. I think I have both, actually. What about you, Michelle?
Yeah, I also sometimes it's just kind of, I mean, Lindsay, we just recently did an episode about why not, sometimes you do have this more of this openness. It could also just be, whatever's going on in your life, that it makes you feel more comfortable with taking those risks, or just saying, I just know.
Yes.
Yes. But
right.
Sometimes
there's low stakes is what you're saying. Like
right.
Yes, totally.
Yeah. So I think it's just all, what's your perspective currently in that moment? Yes. What's been going on in your life? Are you kind of afraid to make a decision? Are you more open? There's a lot, and that could be guiding us so we don't even realize.
Or other people that are going to be affected by what I'm going to decide. Like when I decided I had to go to Japan when I was 24. Well, I mean, there's no one else would have any repercussion. Like there are no repercussions for anyone else.
Right.
If it didn't go well, it's just me. Right. Whereas if you have like a family of 4 or 5 and you decide you want to move abroad, that's a much bigger, it might be less easy to just say, well, when we're going.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. So let's show some expressions that are kind of similar. So this one is to talk about also this feeling. So I just knew, right? I withdrew my application right after the interview. I just knew it wasn't the place for me.
Yeah. Or something told me. Yeah, I like this one. Something tells me, or something told me. I could tell he was the one when he met my parents. Something told me we were meant to be together. Oh, that's nice. Yeah. What else?
Or and the something is, your intuition and your conscience, your whatever it is.
Yeah.
Or I could feel it in my bones. Okay. This is where you can feel something very deep down. Yes. I knew we would be best friends. I could feel it in my bones. I was actually just talking to my friend about this. I have a weird thing where I can tell. I've had 3 moments in my life where I can tell I'm going to be really good friends with someone by the sound of their voice.
Oh, that's interesting. That's cool.
Yeah.
Wow.
I just, there's something in their voice. And I was just telling my friend that the other night, because she's a newer friend. We've been friends now, I guess, for a year already. Yeah. And I was just we were just reflecting on our friendship. And I said, I knew that I was going to like you right away because of the sound of your voice.
Wow, that's really interesting. Yeah. What did she say?
Well, yeah, no, she thought it was cool. And then I told her about the other experiences in my life where I've heard, sometimes it's that I hear someone's voice first, like they are coming in the door and I hear them talking and I'm like, oh, I like that person.
Yeah, I can see, I think there is something about voices that you can sort of have an intuition into their character, their personality, right? That's fascinating, Michelle. Well,
it is interesting.
I think biology gave us this intuition, right? I mean, we have this built in probably from the days of running from the tigers, that we had an intuition a tiger was coming for us or something, you know, like I don't think there's anything magical about this. This is very basic and human.
Right, exactly. But to express this is just really good for connection, I think, because it's a universal feeling that people can relate. Oh, yeah, I've also had that feeling before. It's good to share about yourself, to tell stories. There's so much.
Oh yeah, this is like a gold mine for connection. Just what we're doing now is really interesting because we can learn about a lot about each other's lives, about the key moments, the key decisions we made, and how we made them.
Oh yeah,
right.
Yeah, it really can share your story. So let's do a role play. In this role play, I got a new car, and I am showing you.
Okay, this is gorgeous.
Oh, thank you. I love it.
So how did you choose it?
Ooh, I wasn't actually planning on buying a car that day, but when I saw it, something told me this was the one.
Well, when you know, you know.
Yeah, exactly. I saw a few other cars a month ago, but I just knew they weren't right for me.
Sounds like you could feel it in your bones.
Exactly.
Yeah, and this could be used for buying a car too. It's a little bit less. I mean, we've been talking about like the big things of, you know, moving or like adopting a dog or having another child or something, right? But this could work too for something slightly more superficial, right? Like buying a car, right?
Well, and I think that it kind of was used in a fun way, you know, like
sort of joking.
You said. I think you were the one who kind of moved it into. So I said I wasn't planning on buying a car that day, but when I saw it, something told me this was the one. Yes. And then you said, when you know, you know. Yes. And I think you said that because I said that this was the one. Yeah. Like we're like romanticizing this car like it's a partner.
Oh, so that's really interesting what's going on here. The undertones of this conversation is, it's basically a superficial topic. You chose this car. Okay. It's a car. It's metal, right? But then you triggered a bit more of a like dreaminess to it when you said this was the one. And usually that's used to talk about your partner, right?
Yes.
So interesting. Yeah.
So, you kind of took it on to do that. Oh, well, when you know, almost to make it like it was a romantic decision.
Yes. Interesting. So again, you said something told me this was the one. And then I said, when you know, you know. So I'm kind of teasing you a little bit, right? I'm teasing you.
Yes.
Right? Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. And then I said, exactly. So, and I'm kind of laughing at that because it's kind of a joke the way you used it. Exactly. And I said, I saw a few other cars a month ago, but I just knew they weren't right for me.
Yeah. Now we're continuing the same theme, right? Making it heavier than it might be. Sounds like you could feel it in your bones, right? So that's fun.
So I had this intuition. Yeah. I mean, people are very, like some people are very serious about their cars. Some people name their cars. Yeah, sure. Right. So they do, they do. Some people just talk about their cars in a way like they're a person.
Oh yeah. No, and we've done, and I'm really glad we went into cars so much this year. I think maybe was it last fall? Oh yeah, we did a whole winter. We did a whole series on cars in American culture. Yeah. Which might seem weird, right? What Michelle just said. But it is really a big part of our culture. It goes back to Henry Ford. I mean, like just go through the history of highways built in America post World War II, right? It's huge. I mean, really important to know that. And so, some Americans definitely treat their cars like their baby in some ways.
Yep, exactly. Yeah,
that's crazy. All right, guys, go to 2627. Do you play it safe when it comes to your English? That's another great episode to go to right now if you love our vibe. All right.
Love it. All right, Lindsay, any other takeaways for today?
I think we've got it all right here, Michelle. We all have this intuition. It's fun to get in touch with it, and then to articulate it, and then to speak in different levels of maybe someone's not talking about something that to you seems like it would be this intuitive thing, but you can make it that way. You can tease someone a little bit. There's a lot we can do here. All right.
Yeah. Oh, super fun. All right, Lindsay. Well, time to jump off the mic. I'll talk to you later.
Okay. Bye, Michelle. Have a good day.
All right. Bye.